man like musky over here. Are we watching this? I got on everything that's banned on China. Let's get it. Let's go.
Every year, the human rights NGO Freedom House publishes
The stuff that I know is banned in China. Fortnite, #1. Snapchat. No, I'm playing.
a report on internet
Stop
freedom
with the
around the
stop
world.
with the jokes, bro.
65 countries are assessed, and in the most recent report, the People's Republic of China ranks an impressive last place. This is because of what is called the Great Firewall, one of the world's largest and most comprehensive lists of restricted websites, apps, images, and phrases. Everything included cannot
Oh, so they got phrases too?
be viewed by internet users in China. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, YouTube, Snapchat, Tumblr, Twitch, and Pinterest. Every major media platform in the West is blocked. Other banned websites include most pornography sites,
That's good
the
though.
BBC, online gambling sites, Amazon,
Yo, they ban online gambling though. Yet they still have the I think they have the Asian Las Vegas over there. I forgot the name of it, but they got like a big city in China. Look that up if anybody watches the video. They got like a big city in China, where like it's like the basically like the Chinese Las Vegas, and I think it's even better because if you look at the view of it, it's something else.
New York Times, and Discord. There's even a handy website where you can check if your site is blocked. And it isn't only the big league sites that get banned. Pro-democracy and anti-censorship sites are also restricted, no matter how small they are. Not all of these are banned per se, but made extremely difficult to access. Restricted websites may be moved to page 10 of search results, have their loading speed throttled, or may only partially load. But it isn't just websites that get blocked. Words, phrases, and images can all be restricted either temporarily or permanently. One of the most highly censored topics is any information about the Tiananmen Square massacre of 1989. Any mention of the event is prohibited, and phrases like Tankman and 4th of June are banned from being searched or sent over instant messaging. The phrase Big Yellow Duck was banned in 2013 after pranksters edited a photograph of Tankman to feature some giant ducks. The 4th of June is humorously known as Chinese Internet Maintenance Day because many websites become slow or stop working entirely in the days leading up to the anniversary.
But I heard like if you got like a VPN, then you're all good. You can do whatever you want. Maybe I'm wrong.
Guise of scheduled server repair. Movies and TV shows released in China need to be vetted and potentially edited to fit propaganda rules and decency guidelines. The 2012 James Bond film Skyfall had to have a scene removed where a Chinese security guard is killed, while Men in Black 3 was edited to remove scenes showing a Chinese restaurant worker actually being an alien. Anything that shows China or a Chinese person or dictatorships or authority in a bad light is cut before a Chinese release. Also anything...
But they know like Chinese, like if you're doing that in North Korea because you don't want people to see what's in the outside world and you don't want people to be influenced by what's in the outside world, that is understandable. Yet it's wrong, but it's understandable. But doing it in China is kind of stupid because people can't China is now restricting its land from people like flying out of it and inside of it. So if anybody got any idea they want to spread it to the Chinese people, just by him leaving the country and coming back and like saying what goes on outside of China borders is enough. Without the internet, without all of that, if people are leaving your land and entering it, you still got the chance of people like bringing some outside agenda to your land. So I don't know.
Lugbt related or scenes that are either too violent or too sexual. As you can imagine, audiences were left very confused after the Freddie Mercury film. Other banned media include Plague Inc., Battlefield 4, the film 7 Years in Tibet, can't imagine why, South Park, ASMR videos, movies where animals talk.
Basically anything that might affect the human mind and makes it sick. Because all of the previous stuff that he said are banned is actually good. If you ban pornography, if you ban all the nonsense, other stuff, it's good.
Movies including time travel and The Big Bang Theory. At least they're doing something right. Contrary to popular belief, Winnie the Pooh is not banned in China. Internet searches for Pooh Bear were temporarily blocked in 2017 when Chinese political dissidents discovered the hilarious fact that the president of China, Xi Jinping, looks like the character. Later still, in February 2018, when party officials agreed to give Xi the presidency for the rest of his life, numerous search phrases were temporarily banned to stop people complaining about the rule change. These phrases include
Bro secured the bag. Bro don't secure the bag, bro. He don't secure the bag for the rest of his life.
1,000 years, disagree, shameless, personality, lifelong, and the letter N. The letter N being used in mathematics to denote any number. When the dissidents' rage subsided, these restrictions were, of course, lifted. However, some things you would expect to be banned aren't. The English Wikipedia page for the Tiananmen Square massacre is unblocked. 1984 by George Orwell is completely legal and
Also,
censored.
they're just
The
being
Mad Max
being
films
picky.
were rejected from cinema release, but you can get them on DVD or VHS. The same with Back to the Future. The hope being that the tiny
So they're banning time travel, and they're not banning Max Payne and Back to the Future.
percentage of people who actually seek out a DVD are politically insignificant, and the number of Chinese people who can actually read or speak English is a very small percent of the population. Peppa Pig is
0.9%.
legal and insanely popular for some reason, despite an otherwise total ban on talking animals in media. James Cameron's Avatar, which shows a native population rising up against a colonialist force, is only illegal in 2D. Cinemas were allowed to
They're just being weird now. They're not even being picky. They're just being weird about it. Because now they're just, I don't
show
know.
the film in 3D, with Communist Party officials hoping that the viewers would be so amazed by the visuals that they wouldn't pay attention to the message. They were right, but only because Avatar is a completely forgettable film. So why keep these things out in the open? Why ban the letter N, which could be used for political dissent, but not a book or a movie that is actually about political dissent? Because
Good
otherwise,
question.
you'd have nothing to lose if you were to rebel. For party officials, the goal is to give the illusion of political pluralism, just enough to make sure that people don't think they're being restricted. Now, all of this can be circumvented by using a VPN, which encrypts data and bypasses the firewall. There are plenty of Chinese people on Twitter, from government shills to anime artists, and 29% of Chinese people have used a VPN in the past month. Another problem the Chinese government faces is when Chinese citizens go abroad. Unlike this similarly
That's what I'm saying, bro. Didn't I just say this point, bro? I'm a genius, brother. I'm different. I said this point. I said if they're constantly leaving the country and coming back, you won't restrict their phones, but you're not restricting them flights. So they leave, they bring some like foreign agendas. They come back with them, even if they talk about them. It will be something new in your land. You know what I'm saying? China, you know what I'm saying?
oppressive North Korea, Chinese citizens are free to travel and study in many Western countries, which may expose them
Especially if you got Chinese students that are still young, maybe, and then they go like to the US, and then they come back to China again. That's a long day for you.
to other viewpoints that they'll bring back and spread around the country. The solution is to set up an almost alternative digital ecosystem, a protective bubble that Chinese citizens don't need or don't want to venture outside of. For example, WeChat, which has made itself the single most important app for any modern Chinese citizen. It's a messaging app, a social media, a money transfer app, gaming, maps, reviews. It even has apps within the app to keep users inside at all times. This is good because it can also be used for surveillance and control, with tracking software included in the code and politically charged messages being automatically deleted.
Yeah.
It's no surprise that the CEO of the company behind WeChat is a card-carrying member of the ruling Communist Party. There is also a Chinese equivalent to Google, Amazon, and Facebook. When visiting the West to study or travel, there's no need to watch Western media at the hotel or get Western social media when studying in the USA. All the comforts of home are right there on your phone.
That's
Or
why China duplicates everything, bro. They didn't only do this with social media. They done this with brands. They done this with everything, bro. You got the Abibas, you got the Naibi, you got the Safleen. That's the you got the Lucci. That's the Gucci. You got the LB. That's Louis Vuitton, bro. You got everything
You could
that's
even sidestep the
duplicated.
foreign travel entirely by visiting one of China's many replicas of
You
famous
see what I'm saying, bro? Even with historical stuff, they got the Taj Mahal over here, bro.
monuments. Why visit France with its smelly French people, foreign languages, and long plane ride when you can just visit the replica in Tiangdecheng? Or visit the much bigger, much more impressive Tower Bridge replica in Jiangsu? Or the even more leaning Tower of Pisa in Shanghai? Hey look, they're even building a copy of the Holocaust. There is also the supposed social...
No.
Hey look, they're even building...
That must be the Uyghurs people.
a copy of the Holocaust. There is also the supposed social credit system, where citizens are given a score which rises or falls based on how they live their lives. Positive actions like hard work or loyalty to the
Real life video
regime
game.
are rewarded. Negative actions like paying bills late or jaywalking loses you points and privileges, like the ability to board a plane. Alas, this system does not exist. It was a single proposal by the central government in 2013 and has yet to be acted on at all. Head on over to China and ask them what their social credit score is, and you'll be greeted with a blunt, huh? Or, what? So at least China isn't as bad as that. Is there any hope for the dissidents of the regime? Yes. Using encrypted messaging apps like Signal, a network of ordinary people quietly share around banned articles and resistance information. Dissident groups host their content on Amazon Web Servers, which encrypts all data passing through it, so censors don't know what traffic is legitimate and what traffic is from a banned website. They've even adopted...
Imagine Amazon can get into China, bro. Jeff Bezos would be like a trillionaire, a multi-trillionaire, bro. A new number.
a new lingo to confuse censors while talking on WeChat. Ladder, and Vietnamese pho noodles, is slang for VPN service. The Chinese for narrow neck bottle sounds awfully familiar to Xi Jinping,
翟景平
while ZF is short for government.
Bro done his
Of
research
course,
though.
as bad as cryptocurrency is, which is a story for
He even knows the code.
activists in Hong Kong, Tibet, and Xinjiang have been storing their money in Bitcoin, which cannot be seized, taxed, or traced back to them. But for the most part, many citizens don't really care. They either don't believe there is an internet outside of their own, or they believe censorship is a good thing to preserve national cohesion. As long as
Maybe.
they're comfortable, they don't care about politics or the outside world. Whatever side of the Great Firewall you live on, it looks like the grass is always less green on the other side.
Yeah, true. Nice video, bro. And